All right, welcome back to part 2. We are on number 10. We're going to use the elimination method to solve the system 4x plus 6y equals 10 and 2x plus 5y equals 1 for x. Now, I already have the equations written down, okay? And we need to solve it for x, but it's definitely going to be easier in this problem to eliminate the x because we can multiply 2 by 2 to get 4. All right, so that is what I'm going to do first. Okay, I'm going to rewrite the top one, and then I'm going to distribute, and that gives me 4x plus 10y equals 2. Okay, and I'm looking here again. My x values both are 4, and they're both negative, so they have or both positive, so they have the same sign. So I'm going to subtract the 2, and 4x minus 4x is 0. 6y minus 10y is negative 4y, and 10 minus 2 is 8. So when I divide by negative 4, I get y equals negative 2. So they didn't want, there we go. So they didn't want the y value, right? They wanted the x. Okay, and they do have the negative 2 sitting right there, so you got to be careful not to jump the gun and pick C for an answer. All right, so I'm going to plug that back in, my negative 2. I'm going to plug it back into this first easier equation. Okay, so 2x plus 5 times negative 2 equals 1. You guys can't see that. There you go. Okay. So I plugged in negative 2 for y, and I get 2x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 equals 1. I'm going to add 10 to both sides. I'm going to get 2x equals 11. Okay. Divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get x equals 5.5 or 5.5. Looks to be positive to me. Let's take a look. We do have a question with that, or a letter with that, 5.5. That is B for number 10. All right, let's take a look at 11. The substitution method should be used to solve which system of equations? So we're looking at this one, and again, we're looking for one of the equations that's either already solved for x or y, or the coefficient on x or y is 1. And so this would be a good elimination, not substitution. Same thing here. This would be a good elimination because they have the same coefficient. Here, this would definitely have to be an elimination by multiplication. And then this last one's already solved for y, so we would substitute that right there, and J would be our best choice for substitution. All right, let's move on. Okay, so now they want us to use substitution to solve the system. Okay, and remember, many of us throughout this chapter have thought we had to solve both equations for x and y in order to use substitution. That is not the case. The only thing we have to do is figure out which one of these, if we want to use substitution, is solved, or has which one of these variables has a coefficient of 1. You can see that this is x plus 2y equals 1. We can then solve this. My son is nodding at me as I'm explaining it. We can solve this for x really easy by subtracting 2y from both sides. Okay, and that's going to give me x equals 2y. Let's see. X equals negative 2y plus 1. Okay. So I solved that for x. And we're going to plug that into 2x plus 5y equals 3. All right, so I'm going to put this right here for x. And the key to substitution is being neat. Okay, so I have 2x, no I don't. I have 2 times negative 2y plus 1 plus 5y equals 3. I'm going to distribute negative 4y plus 2 plus 5y equals 3. Combine like terms, and negative 4y plus 5y is just y. Negative 4 plus 5y is 1. Plus 2 equals 3. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I get y equals 2. All right, let's see what they asked us for. We need the whole thing. And I must have done something wrong because I don't see that answer, a y equals 2, anywhere in here. So let me, oh, here's y. Because some of you guys do this too. You subtract them in your head right away and then get your answer. I am actually subtracting 2 here to get 1. Y equals 1. There we go. All right, so if I go to my multiple choice, well, it doesn't take much, does it? If I go to multiple choice, y is 1. So no, no, and no. The answer has to be A. But I don't like how easy that was, so, and I did make a mistake, so I'm going to make sure that x gives me the negative 1. All right, so I'm going to plug that back in to here. Okay, so x equals negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1. Yeah, see, that gives me 2 plus 1 is 3 for x, so I must have made a mistake here. Let's take a look. Oh, I made the same mistake again. Holy smokes. It's y, it should be positive 1 right here. There we go. Which gives me a negative 2 plus 1, which gives me x equals negative 1, and that in fact is A, so we had it. All right, I'm going to try to move this up so we can see more of the test here. All right, hopefully I can get that to focus in here. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of issues. All right, I think I have our issue fixed, so let's continue here. We're on question 13 right now. All right, so question 13 says for 13 and 14, solve the system, find the values of y. So we only want the y values, and they're allowing us to do whatever we want to solve them. I'm looking at 13, and I see a very simple elimination problem. The y's are the same. They both have the same sign. We're going to subtract these. So 3x minus 2x is x. And negative 35 minus negative 30 is actually negative 35 plus 30, which is negative 5. But again, they want the y. Okay, so we got to plug that back into one of these two equations. I'm going to pick the bottom one. All right, so we're going to do 2 times negative 5 plus 5, nope, it's minus 5y equals negative 30. That gives me negative 10 plus 5y equals negative 30, right? I'm going to add 10 to both sides, which gives me 5y equals negative 20, and I know that y equals negative 4. If I divide both sides by 5 here, I'm going to get y equals negative 4, which is h. Okay? All right. 14, let's take a look. I'm going to write them down. This is going to be an elimination problem. Okay, so 14 is going to be an elimination problem. 3x plus 4y equals negative 30, and 2x minus 5y equals 72. Okay, so there we are. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking we want to make the x's 6. If we eliminate the x's, we'll get y right away for an answer, and that's what we're looking for. So that is definitely will save us a step. So I'm going to multiply the top by 2 and the bottom equation by 3. Okay, and that gives me 6x plus 8y equals negative 60, and 6x minus 15y equals, let's see, 216. Okay, so here's what we have right now. We are going to subtract these two, same sign subtract, and that eliminates the x's. And 8 minus negative 15 is actually 8 plus 15, which is 23y. Okay, and then negative 60 minus 216, we're actually going to add these two numbers, and that's going to give us 276, negative 276. Okay. Now we need to divide both sides by 23. And let's see here. 23 goes into 27 once with a remainder of 4. And we bring down the 6, so 23 goes into 46 twice. So I'm going to say that y equals negative 12. Okay, so let's take a look and see if that's a choice. It is a choice. It is C. And remember, we needed to find the y for that one, and we found it right away. Okay, let's take a look at the story problem. So, Coffee Cafe makes 90 pounds of coffee that costs $6 per pound. The types of coffee used to make this mixture cost $70 per pound and $7 per pound and $4 per pound. How many pounds of $7 per pound coffee should be used in this mixture? All right. Here is what we're going to do. We need 90 pounds of coffee that costs $6 per pound. So I see right away we're going to have a pound equation here. And the pound equation is x plus y equals 90. Okay? And then, this is tricky, and this actually took me a second here. We're going to have a cost per pound equation, and so we're going to say $7 per pound plus $4 per pound. Okay? Now here's the tricky part. We're making 90 pounds of $6 per pound coffee. We want to know what that cost is right here. All right, so we're going to do 90 times 6, which is 540. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. All right, and since we haven't done a lot of this yet, I'm going to do this one by substitution. Okay, I am going to solve this for x. Okay. Actually, I should probably solve it for y, because then we'll get an equation with just x's in it, and that'll give me the amount of coffee, the $7 coffee right away. So I'm going to solve this for y. So if I subtract x from both sides, I get y equals 90 minus x. Okay, and I'm going to plug that right there. All right, so that gives me 7x plus 4 times 90 minus x, and that equals 540. Okay, I'm going to distribute, and I'm going to get 7x plus 360 minus 4x equals 540. Okay. 7x minus 4x is 3x. Alright, and I'm going to subtract 360 here. Alright, and let's see here. 36, so I got to get 40 to get to 400, another 100 to get to 500, another 40, so what's that? 180. Okay. Divide by 3. Divide by 3, and I get x equals 60. So 60 pounds of $7 coffee. Okay, so let's see if that's a choice. Yep, it's J, 60 pounds of $7 coffee. Okay, I got a couple minutes. I'm going to see if I can get the last two done here. Your teacher is giving a test that has 5 more 4-point questions and 6-point questions. The test is worth 120 points. Which system represents this information? Teacher is giving you a test that has 5 more 4-point questions than 6-point questions. All right. X plus 5 equals y. All right, and then the test is worth 120 points. Number of questions plus 5 equals that. So I am looking, just depends on how we set this equal to. And I'm running out of time, so we're going to have to finish up these last 2 questions before I get cut off. I'll do the last 2 questions on the next video.